I'm Lauren Muney. I'm a traditional silhouette artist. I cut silhouette portraits freehand of guests and visitors at museums and other events using just scissors and paper. I sit people down right in front of me, and within 2 minutes I create a portrait of them as if they would be having the portrait made in the 18th and early 19th century. I use a pair of scissors in the way described by the historical texts. My scissors are very special. They have very short blades and very long handles, so I can move my scissors around the paper. And the paper is actually black on one side, white on the other. And back in the 1700s, the blackness was actually made by mixing soot and beer. And that's how they were able to make the nice black look, and they would eventually glue that onto the white side, the white card, so then they would have a black portrait on a white card. I actually taught myself. I was very intrigued by silhouettes. I thought that they were not only romantic, but they were very exquisite and elegant, and they really showed the details of someone's face. Because it's very hard to get the books on how to do it yourself, I went through the history books and I learned everything I can. I've been doing this for 4 years and I'm still learning. I think the most important part is to make each feature recognizable so that the sitter would be able to see their own features in what I'm creating. And I try to get 100% correct. And the most important parts is to get the chin right, the lips right, the tilt of the nose correct. If the nose has a little bit of a bend or a swoop, these things are what really make up a person's particular features, so they will recognize themselves if they saw it later. And best of all, whether another member of the family would be able to recognize it and then feel like they really resonate with that image. The museums I go to are often historical, so one of my specialties is to dress in the period. So right now I'm actually in 18th century clothing. I'm actually clothed period authentic all the way down to my underclothes. So it gives me a specific way of sitting, specific way of moving, and also it gives the people that are with me a chance to learn more about history, because almost always they ask and they learn more because it's right in front of them and it's not like they're watching an exhibit. This is really how people had their portraits done before photography was invented. People would have their portraits either cut or painted if they were the common people. That's the silhouettes. Now the people who had more money, they would have a portrait painted, but it would be very expensive. So it would cost the same for us, which could be up to $1,000. And for some people, $1,000 is possible to have a portrait made. But for the common person, it probably doesn't work out for their budget. Now, silhouettes were a lot more accommodating, but it still would be 25 cents to have your silhouette made, and that could be 3 days' wages. These are 2 portraits of African American sitters. They have absolutely wonderful faces, but this little girl is going to rule the world one day. I'm positive. When I met her, you can see by her picture that she is. There are about a little over 10 people in the United States doing what I'm doing, cutting silhouettes. So I really like traveling around and helping the guests and the full museums understand the importance of this portrait form that really pervaded all of our ancestors' lives.